What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man. And today, I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, just remember it's thoughts in our head. We can change them in an instant. You know, sometimes it's easier said than done, but you can do it. I promise you. Either that or prompt. And that's how you can shut them off. Just prompt them with different questions, you know. If you're feeling sad, maybe why am I feeling sad? And you kind of start down that rabbit hole and go from there. I'm feeling angry. Why am I feeling angry? Like, is it worth it? How about if I look 10 years in the future and then look back at this very moment? What do I want to remember? How do I want to be judged by myself, I guess? We don't want to be judged, but how do I see myself in this light? And then also you can always do something physical, right? It's always super easy. Jump in the ice bath if you haven't. For sure, jump in the ice bath. Do some breath work, some jumping jacks, put some music on. Change the frequency. For this one's a rather quick one. Like it's just a point of perspective, okay? And I think the point here is to think about what we have currently within our own situation, and then really ask ourselves, where are we going, and how much of it do I really need to like continue to move forward and advance, right? Not saying that progress isn't great or what we need to be doing, right? But what type of progress, and then to what level of progress, right? Because like I'm sure there's a level of progress that can get too cumbersome. Like after this, like there's a level of achievement that after you achieve X, then it just becomes more work than anything, right? And so a good point like this, Patty and I were chilling last night, and the thought came, I don't know how it came to, I think we were watching something or like a commercial popped up. Yep. We were watching like Freevee or Fruivee or something with a commercial still playing, which I kind of like still because I like to see what other creatives are doing. But the thought was, and it was something around like food or natural food or some shit like that. But then I thought about it, I was like, you know what's fucking crazy? At one time, society as like a whole was like, you know what? We don't want to farm anymore. We don't want to live off our own land. We're going to start creating and progressing towards building products and digital things and things that we're doing now, right? And T-shirts or whatever, right? Like other products. We all decided as a society to move away from being outside, moving around, growing our own food, to progressing in terms of this, like, you know, before digital age, it was more of like selling and services and insurance and all this shit. And then now digital and et cetera, to working inside in a box for up to probably the same or more amount of hours that you would probably need to like farm or at least grow your own food in your own backyard. Right? For what though? Right? Because I feel like a lot of us, or not a lot of us, but and I don't know, right? Because there's fucking millions of people in the world. But I would assume that most of us would love to be able to stop working and have enough money to buy land and just live off the land in some sort of way. Because I've heard that before. So it's like this cycle of this is where we were before. Then we progressed in terms of this fucking society of X, where like all we got to do is like we got to go figure out how we're going to sell this thing and our service and our product to make Y, so we can have enough to buy our land and live fucking off of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were there before. We were fucking there before. You know, and with less probably pesticides. So, you know, it was just a perspective. And again, I hope one, it either brought you an aha moment like, oh shit, you know, and hopefully you laughed or smiled with me, because it's kind of like fucking, I don't know, insert your favorite vocabulary word. But when I thought about it, I was like, huh. You know what I mean? Because it would be awesome. Like, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I would love to just be able to retire now and, you know, buy a plot of land and live off the land. You know, maybe not everybody. Not everybody wants to do that. But I feel like I've heard enough of that to have made that point valid. So that's it. So I guess the perspective is like, you know, figure out where you are right now and how much more progress, you know, or like what's the level of progress and then becomes cumbersome or just like reverses back to what you actually had before, right? And I feel like that's probably, you can probably connect that to a couple of things, in certain situations. So just a perspective to think about, whether it's work, whether it's, relationships at home or outside of that. All right, homies, you have a great one. Keep crushing it. And I'm going to keep on doing this because I appreciate you. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the love. And stay tuned for some guests so you can hear other beautiful voices. Have a great one. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Keep crushing it. Peace. Nothing changes until you do.